Imagine every rule you've ever heard about fundraising. Not just classic advice, but the ironclad principles you thought were gospel, being broken. Not in some reckless, chaotic way, but shattered with purpose, with a new fire burning underneath every shattered piece. That discomfort you feel right now, the frustration of pitching, the sting of rejection, the endless grind of following the process that somehow leads nowhere. That's your mind begging for freedom. Because here's the brutal truth nobody tells you. That rule book you worship, it's holding you hostage. You've been sold a story. The story says, raise flawlessly, according to the script. Perfect your deck. Hit the metrics. Follow the network. Close the round. And every time you've tried, it's felt more like fitting yourself inside a cage rather than breaking through a wall. What if all those rules, those sacred truths, were actually chains? What if the real game begins the moment you start breaking them? Because fundraising, at its core, is a human battle, not a numbers game or a mechanical checklist. All those rules? They pretend that investing is cold, calculable, an algorithmic pattern. But it's not. Investors invest in people, not just projects, not just slides and projections. They invest in something raw and unfiltered, something full of cracks and fire and undeniable spirit. So why do we lock ourselves inside a rigid system that denies that spirit? Forget trying to be professional in the traditional sense. Forget trying to resemble every other founder pitching a perfect idea with the perfect slides. The system thrives on that sameness because sameness is predictable and controllable. But true investment magic happens when you dare to be different. When you reject noise and amplify your essence, your real essence, whatever that may be. The messy, passionate, stubborn essence nobody can ignore. Have you noticed how many founders end up sounding the same? Like they swallowed a rulebook whole and regurgitate it like trained parrots? That's because the system wants it that way. It's easier to dismiss the many as one. But you're not many. The world isn't begging for more echoes of the same. It's starved for the rare. For the wild ones who refuse comfort, who reject consensus, who unlearn everything to rewrite the future. Now here's the part that cuts deepest. The world around you lies. It tells you that fundraising is about following the process, collecting signatures and logos, reaching the exact numbers on slides. It promises fairness, but rewards conformity. It offers access, but builds walls. The rules tell you to behave, to fit in, to not rock the boat. Meanwhile, you're drowning inside a current called mediocrity, dressed up as safety. But what if the greatest flaw isn't your idea, your pitch, or your network? What if the flaw is the entire system designed to filter out anything that doesn't fit? Think deeply about this. You don't lack talent. You don't lack ideas. What you're missing is connection, the kind that cuts through noise and desperation, the ruthless mutual knowing that fuels revolution, not just iteration. Imagine a network where the rare find each other. Not a noisy crowd, not a massive platform chasing views, but a sharp, autonomous assembly of individuals who burn with a shared fire. A place where brilliance finds brilliance, where being misaligned isn't a problem, it's the signal to connect. Where connection doesn't dilute individuality, but enhances it. That's the real secret no guidebook will tell you. So how do you break the rules? You start by being unapologetic about your individuality. This means rejecting the myth of perfect fundraising decks and embracing the messy, unfinished, unfiltered you. Embrace the vision that might scare a few people because it's not built to reassure the many. Build narratives that aren't polished to death, but are palpable, authentic, and deeply human. Forget the metric obsession. Metrics matter, but they won't unlock the door if your story lacks soul. Investors may ask about traction, TAM, ROI, and you've got to have answers. But the real power comes from transforming those numbers into a vision they want to live inside. Numbers are the skeleton. Your conviction is the heartbeat. Without that heartbeat, you're building on air. Here's a higher level tactic nobody shouts about loud enough. Be selective with whom you engage. Don't pitch to everyone. Don't chase every meeting. Instead, build relentless filters for your partners, investors, and supporters. Align exclusively with the few who share enough of your fire to stoke it higher. Sometimes rejection isn't failure, It's the compass pointing you to who really matters. Cutting loose mediocre fits doesn't slow you down, it accelerates you. Patience isn't a cliche, it's a weapon. You're not here for the quick win or the viral moment. Real power is forged in the long game. Fundraising isn't sprinting, it's enduring. It's holding your ground as the noise crashes around you. It's building a foundation so rooted in your truth and vision that no shake or shift can undo it. This patience separates the pack from the leader. Now picture this. What if freedom in fundraising isn't found in following rules, but in rewriting them? What if the rules are just stories made by people trying to control what happens next? And what happens next is yours to define. Imagine yourself not as a player limited by a game, but as a creator of a new game, where fundraising is a conversation of covenants, not checklists, where investors are chosen allies, not gatekeepers, where boundaries aren't walls, but places to build bridges. Yes, breaking rules means risk. It means discomfort. It's facing skepticism, biting your tongue less, and screaming your truth more. It means resisting the temptation to play small, just to fit comfortably into a letter-sized role. But the fire that fuels true fundraising brilliance lives exactly at those wild edges. That's where the rare bloom thrive. And what if this rebellion isn't just about money or companies? What if it's about freedom? True freedom. Freedom from the invisible chains of expectation, complacency, and the comfort of safe methods. When you break the rules, when you smash the chains, you reclaim your sovereignty. Your will becomes your weapon. Your vision becomes your battleground. To the founders feeling sidelined, to the investors craving connection beyond spreadsheets, to the leaders exhausted by scripted routines, this is a call to awaken. It's not an invitation to follow a new set of tired rules, but to dismantle, disrupt, and release what's been trapped. It's not about fixing a broken system. It's about building from the ashes something real, fierce, and alive. The world will push you to conform, but you must resist. The world will promise safety and sameness, but you must chase danger and difference. The world will shout numbers, but you must speak soul. Every moment spent inside these old rules is a moment lost to the power you were born to wield. Every rule broken is a door opening. Every limit shattered is a light bursting through. Every convention cast aside is one step closer to a future made by those who refuse to wait, who refuse to bow, who refuse to be anything less than extraordinary. So don't ask if you can break the rules. Don't wonder if you should. The only question that matters is this: what would happen if you never followed one again? What would happen if every must was met with a why not? What would happen if instead of fitting the system, you became the system's hardest puzzle? The answer is terrifying and exhilarating, and it's waiting for you on the other side of the break.